Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a bit of a fun video for you. I'm not ready to quite use these and I find them slightly irritating. But today's video is all about the Walmart Birkin dupe, the WIRKIN. Been dubbed the WIRKIN. I only found out about this because I seen articles popping up on like my Instagram because I'm not really a big TikTok person. The whole viralness of it has pretty much started on TikTok. So what it is in a nutshell is that Walmart has come up with a Birkin dupe. So we're going to talk about that dupe today. I'm going to go through some of the videos, we're going to do some reactions, and I'm going to give you my opinions as to why I actually think this WIRKIN has really taken off. So if you are new here actually and you aren't subscribed and you like luxury or fashion commentary, investigative deep dives, if you like hauls of luxury goods, beauty, skincare, handbags, clothing, all that jazz, I do an array of content on this channel. So if you are new here and you aren't subscribed, I would love if you hit that subscribe button below, and also the bells can be notified when I upload new videos. I tend to upload every weekend, and then I might occasionally spring up a random upload here and there. So before we discuss all things WIRKIN, I actually have a couple pairs of shoes that I wanted to reveal to you guys. So this part of the video is sponsored by Vivaya. I've actually done a collaboration with them before. I own 2 pairs of their shoes and I still to this very day love them. I still can attest that they are the most comfortable shoes that I have in my collection that are actually dressy. So the 2 pairs of shoes I have today, I'm going to start off with these ones here. So these ones are called the Margot Mary Jane. They have a very unique feature. Not only are they ridiculously comfortable, but you can actually fold these shoes for easy storage. Like if you say you need to wear, I don't know, really high stiletto heels for work, but you want to have something that you can wear going to and from work, like if you're catching the train, public transport, whatever it may be. The other feature is that the knit of the Vivaya shoes are actually made from recycled plastic bottles. So that's really clever considering that the knit is actually super comfortable, like ridiculously comfortable, soft. These Margot Mary Janes also have adjustable buckles here. So if you want, you can make this a bit tighter or you can make this a bit looser. So one of the most key features of the Vivaya shoes is that herbal insole there. It is super comfortable. It's got arch support as well, but it's got like a squishy kind of effect, as you can sort of see. So your foot feels like it's walking on like a firm, spongy, comfortable kind of cloud. It's really remarkable, the technology that they have with their shoes, that they can feel comfortable from the very get-go, that they don't require any breaking in whatsoever. I love that the shoes always have this little padding feature at the back there, but it's so squishy and comfortable. It just really supports that back of the ankle there, so you don't get any of that rubbing and that friction that we all know of, that we get blisters from our other shoes. The next Vivaya shoes I have here are actually a kitten heel. And if you guys watch my channel and all the hauls I do, I like never ever reveal heels. I'm not much of a heel wearer because I don't find them all that comfortable. However, when it comes to Vivaya, they know how to do comfortable heels. So these are the Scarlet shoes. They are obviously a kitten heel, and they also have a very special, unique insole with these ones. So they actually have a shock absorbing heel insole, which makes them even better if you're someone like me who tends to find heels uncomfortable. You will not feel like you're actually wearing heels at all. Then they've also got the arch support here, and then a cushioned midsole. Both of these shoes are effortless in styling. There are so many colors on the website that you can actually choose something that really suits your style. So I do have a coupon code to get 12% off Vivaya. That code is 12PER. It's going to be valid for about 1 year. So if you need to come back and check on this video to get the coupon code, I'm going to leave it down below in the description bar as well. But I can attest that if you are looking for the most comfortable shoes to have in your shoe collection, something that you can wear for work, something you can wear during the day, something you can wear going out, I can 100% guarantee you that you are going to love the Vivaya shoes. So details will be down below to shop Vivaya, as well as that 12% off coupon code. So the Walmart Birkin dupe. Apparently it retailed for $80. It is sold out now though. So we know what this bag kind of looks like and we can see what all the hype is about. We're going to start off with the videos that are on TikTok.
My Walmart Birkin came in. Let's open it.
No fancy dust bag. Okay. Just something I noticed, that there's no fancy dust bag. So if you're thinking that you're getting anything that's luxurious like a Birkin, you are not getting that.
Pretty. It's real leather and I paid $80 for it.
$80, what a steal.
Oh, she's so pretty.
Oh. She is not bad at a glance. Okay, so It has rings on the side of the bag. That is a clear no, not an actual real Birkin. Clearly a dupe, because the Birkin, which I actually have one here. I have my Birkin 25 in gold. As you will see, let me get that side area. So this side area here on the Walmart Birkin, the WIRKIN, it had grommets on the side of the bag. As you see with the original one, it does not have grommets on the side of the bag. You cannot attach a strap. This is the Birkin 25, so I don't know what sizes they were doing on Walmart. That looks like it's a Birkin 30.
Oh, it comes with, I guess that's a small strap. Comes with the lock. And it comes with a little, like, tag thing.
The Birkin doesn't come with a strap, like I said.
Oh, it's pretty.
Does come with a lock and a clochette though, like that one does. So quite similar.
Oh, and it's got these at the bottom too. I gotta take the little plastic things off of them. 80 bucks.
Very nice color. That looks like Hermes bamboo. I had a bamboo Birkin. I had one.
So you can pretend that you got Birkin.
You know, it's
I
not
mean,
me anymore.
everybody's going to probably know it's not, because who the hell has money to spend on a real Birkin? But not me. But I think it's a pretty little bag.
I have the money to spend on a Birkin, but that doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. I feel like, yeah, that doesn't matter. I'm not that kind of person anyway. But what I noticed, yeah, it doesn't have any Hermes Made in France stamp on the top there, which is what you would see on a genuine Birkin. It's not counterfeit, you know. It's not putting stamps on as though the brand made it. That's what a counterfeit is, when it's got hallmarks that are specifically Hermes, that says Hermes on it, right? That's counterfeit. Okay, so this is not a counterfeit bag. This is just
I need some
a
bag
dupe.
charms now. Oh, I love this color. I'm obsessed with green. Nice hardware. How does it work? I don't know.
This lady's making me miss my bamboo Birkin. Oh, the clasp actually looks like similar to that of like when the Kelly bag, when you get that kind of clasp on your Kelly strap, your mini Kelly, whatever.
Maybe it's just hard to move. Oh, it is. It's just hard to.
So for sure, this is made in China, no doubt about it.
Whatever. Okay. It's pretty. It's pretty.
I hope that lady takes
pretty.
off those feet. I could see those feet rubbers on the bag. Take them off. They're really bad. I mean, for an $80 bag, I suppose, what am I talking about? You know, you're not going to really cry if it gets absolutely destroyed because it was only 80 bucks. It's actually a really bloody good deal, you know. All right, let's watch another one.
Well, I'll sure tell you one thing. It's packaged like a Walmart Birkin, that's for sure. But I grabbed this while I still could. It's offline now. I don't see the Walmart Birkin.
Even though she's only opening a Walmart Birkin, that whole cutting the satchel with one of those, oh, terrifying. I have actually cut my clothes that way before when I was using one of those things, so that's really ballsy of her. Like, you can see the cut. You can see the cut right there in the plastic. She's almost cut the bloody bag. Even for an $80 bag, you don't want to cut it.
I mean, it ain't bad. I mean, you can tell she's the Walmart Birkin. I don't know. Ain't bad for the price. Okay, let's see. Oh, we have plastic.
That bag looks so different than the other one that the lady unboxed, like in terms of like, it's smushed to the crap house. It's really had a rough time through the parcel service. Like the leather is all like impressed in and the bag's out of shape, whereas the other lady, wherever she got hers, they seem to have packed it with care, or if she picked it up from the store maybe.
Some plastic on the inside along with a little strap. So
She's a little bit beat up lady.
You know, she looks like
Poor
she's
thing's
from
had a hard
Walmart,
time.
But it's a
So this
cute
bag
little,
looks
just, like,
different.
basic brown tote.
This looks
so.
different to the other one. Like, you
that.
see how the hardware at the front is more horizontal than vertical, whereas at least the other one had more of that vertical sort of hardware right there. Yeah, that's something I noticed. Like, are they from the same place? Are they actually from Walmart, or has Walmart got different providers? So the rings on that one as well were actually at the back rather than being grommets on the side.
My fiance ordered me a WIRKIN. Let's check her out. If you don't know what a WIRKIN is, you have not been on TikTok. If you haven't been on TikTok, or you don't want to be on it, I can just tell you that it's a Birkin that Walmart sold us.
By golly.
Hold on. This is a 30, so it's like a medium size. But would have preferred a 35, but they were sold out. So we have a 30.
Okay. So they had different sizes, all right? I mean, I never got to see the Walmart listing. She's saying that there was a 35, but this one that she's got.
How it came packaged. Here's the little feet. It looks like it came straight from China. Cool. Probably a Chinese vendor on Walmart's marketplace. I'm just gonna...
What she said there is what I was suspecting, is that that's why there's different types, is that they've partnered up with other vendors. Like on Amazon, how you have vendors listing on the platform. That's kind of like what Walmart's offering. So it's not actually like Walmart has contracted someone to make these bags to copy the Hermes Birkin. They're just letting vendors sell them on their platform. So as to whether they just decided to slip it through or if maybe there was not much scrutiny for it, I don't know. It just happens to be on a big platform like Walmart. That's why it's catapulted into such popularity.
And tear right into it. All right, it smells like China. I don't mean like, what I mean is like it has a little chemical smell. Got cardboard, lots of padding. Let's take that off. Dust bag. We like to see those. All right. Sorry, the dogs are barking in the background. Ooh, she's cute. Look at that. Forget the name of this, but visually it's like a brown, tan, neutral color. It feels pretty luxury. It really does. Wow. The feet are protected. Little seals on them. Let's see. Maybe I'll just leave those on just to protect it, my Workin. This is the scale of it for reference. Let's take a look. Ooh. Super cute. Okay, I'll take all this stuff off and come back.
Walmart Birkin. I have the Walmart Birkin right here. I used it. I took it to Saks Fifth Avenue for ladies who lunch. Nobody clocked it, girl. This is it. This bag is available at walmart.com for like 60 something dollars. And a real Birkin will set you back at least $7,000. So here it is.
So even Rich Lux has got himself a Workin, and it looks like that Workin is working for him because it looks pretty beat up, assuming that he's already used it, or maybe he's got arrived to him all beat up like that.
Like a leather. It's more like a PVC. The hardware looks nice. Let me pop this open because right here, normally it would say Hermes Birkin or Hermes Paris. It doesn't.
Okay,
say
so
that.
I think that I have I think I have seen enough to really kind of
sure
form
the
an
hell does look
opinion
like
onto as to whether this really looks anything like the Birkin. And I can already tell you off the... Actually, you know what? Let me show you my Workin. Now, it's not from Walmart. This is actually a Firkin. I don't know. It's not a Workin, it's a Firkin. I actually got this many years ago. I bought this with I think I got this in like 2016. I think it was, yeah, like 2016, before I even started to like shop at the Hermes store. Like obviously I already knew the brand, but I was just more into Chanel and Louis Vuitton, Celine, Dior. I was all into those kind of bags before. I actually wasn't always into Hermes. It was like 2016 I started to get into Hermes. And I was like, I actually want to know if like, I'd even like the Birkin or even the Kelly. And yeah, I got my Firkin. So as with the Walmart Birkin, it doesn't have any stamping up here. As with the Walmart Birkin, it's got those grommets on the side and it comes with a strap. Now, this patch on the front, I actually sewn that on myself. So yeah, that's actually sewn on by me. I've sewn that on. I like tripled up the thread and sewn this patch on. I was doing like, I'd seen like one of the Korean like brands do something like that, and I kind of just wanted to do something like that as well. Put like a fun patch on the front of it. Kind of would like to change over that patch, to be honest, now, but I don't think I could be bothered to re-stitch on again. But anywho's, but yeah, I think that the hardware might be pretty similar, or maybe similar. Like you can see with this, it's just a very striking yellow gold. The screws are not hand pearled, like it's all preset kind of screws. If anything, these are like a faux screw, if anything, and it's just that they're just punched in on the back like that. The quality of the hardware on this is probably like the Workin. It is really not the same as the Hermes Birkin. Like it's not even close in terms of quality for the hardware. There's no stamping on it. The grommets on the side, like this the bag is not the Birkin, right? It just looks similar to the Birkin, but it's a fun bag. You know, my daughter is going to end up using this when she's a teenager, and like there's no way I'd actually give like a teenager an Hermes Birkin bag to use. I feel like that's just doesn't teach the worth of money and hard work. I wouldn't do that. I'm not that kind of parent. So I actually don't mind these kind of like dupes, especially for like, you know, being beat up bags and that kind of thing to give to like, you know, a teenager as a gift. I'm totally okay with them. And I also have no issue with all these women and men that have also bought the WIRKIN. I just think whatever, like it's just not that big of a deal. Like I know that some people have gotten worked up about it. Does this affect the resale value of the brand that people are buying like these Walmart WIRKINs, these Birkin dupes? Does it affect the resale of the brand of the actual Birkin itself or even Hermes in general? Does it change its exclusivity? And I would say no. Like, I just don't think that it really affects it whatsoever because there is still always going to be that desirability. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that it looked like the Birkin, no one would probably bat an eyelid at it, okay? If Walmart was selling this as someone else's, I don't know, design or whatever it may be, if it wasn't known that the Hermes Birkin looks just like this, no one would care because the Hermes Birkin is its own pedestal. Like, it is the top level, top luxury staircase when it comes to like the luxury world of handbags. It is at the very top. And because it's at the very top, there's absolutely no way, in my opinion, that a dupe is going to affect its resale value or its desirability at all, because no one would even care for this bloody WIRKIN if it wasn't for the fact of the, you know, the status that the Hermes Birkin has. So it's not. Look, let's just be frank here. People that are bothered by it and think it's going to affect the resale value of their bags and they're getting triggered by it, it's not. It is not going to affect it whatsoever, because the chances are that people that are buying this bag are going to be buying it for various reasons, right? You're going to have people that are buying it just for the clickbait because, you know, it's a popular item. You're going to have people that are buying it because they can't actually afford the Birkin. So they're not your competition. They're not going to affect the resale value in any way because they weren't actually going to go ahead and buy a real Birkin anyway. So the resale value stays at status quo. But then you've also got people that are just buying it just because it's an $80 leather handbag, 80 USD leather handbag. Like, that is good in itself. It's got a strap on it as well. Like, and the Birkin's a great bag. And then when you add the strap, it's kind of even better. To be honest, it's even more practical. I don't even use my bloody Birkin because there's no freaking strap for it, you know? Like, I don't use it much. I more so use like my Kelly bag or even my other bags actually, like my Lindy or something, you know? I use those bags more because they have straps. So it is not going to dilute the bag. It's not going to change the consumer market. It's not even going to, it doesn't even put people off the brand, because if they were already not liking the brand because they, you know, either couldn't afford it, they didn't like the elitism that's associated with the brand. I certainly don't like the elitism that's associated with it. They don't like the games, you know, or they just think it's an ugly bag. Like, those people are still going to feel that same way. So again, it's not going to take away consumers from the Hermes Birkin itself. The other factor that I feel like why this has actually gotten a lot of popularity, because dupes have been around for ages. Like, and even if you look at the Walmart website, there are other dupes on there for like the Chanel boy bag. The Birkin, because it is so already nonchalant, it is the only kind of bag that wears, like, from a distance, you might be able to fool someone just because that logo on the front is, like, if I pull it back here, like, you can hardly sort of see it, right? So it's the only kind of bag in terms of the dupes that are on there that could potentially maybe trick someone from sort of far away, perhaps, because it's already a nonchalant bag without any loud logos on it. Whereas like the Chanel bag has this big CC on the front. However, the boy bag is probably also a nonchalant one because that CC is not the pronounced CC. It's already on a plate itself. So again, that's another one that is even a fairly okay sort of dupe. But I mean, the Birkin's really up there in price. It is ridiculously expensive. The other thing that I feel like is that at the moment, there is such a high increased crime rate globally. And I'm going to bring your attention to a couple of the stories that I have seen that have come up only just recently. And this is only just a couple recent ones. So we have Janice Joostema, I think that is her name. She was in she was in a store in the UK in London, in Oxford Street actually. And she was shopping in the VIP room because she's actually an influencer. I think that's, you know, that's what her career is. She's an influencer. And which is pretty popular as well. Yeah, she was shopping in London in the VIP room, and someone was kind of sussing out her being in the change room and was waiting for the right opportunity to strike to actually take her Hermes JPG, the Jean Paul Gaultier Birkin with the long shoulder strap. They took the opportunity to take that bag from the change room when she wasn't looking and her back was turned. She ran in quickly, grabbed the bag, got caught on the handle actually in her frenzy, but then she managed to get away and get away with Janice's JPG Birkin bag. So that's one of the more recent thefts that I have noticed. And the other theft was another one that was huge. So she's been called an influencer, but I tend to disagree because she's got 13,000 followers on Instagram. I don't feel like that puts you at like influencer status. I don't feel like I'm an influencer by any means. I think she's just like someone who makes some content on Instagram. However, Instagram's now private. I'd say that she's probably perhaps known as a rich person, not because of what she posts on Instagram. I'd say that criminals, organized crime, know about her because she is an art collector. Something to do with the word of mouth with people that are organized criminals and specifically targeting people. So I'd say it's more to do with the fact that she's an art collector as opposed to being an influencer who posts photos, because she only had 13,000 followers anyway. But she had a huge robbery occur in her mansion that was in Britain, in the UK. So she had over 10 million pounds, at the fucking shit ton of money, of jewelry stolen from her house through the second story window. Someone had climbed through her mansion. And she had also stolen from her 150,000 pounds of an Hermes Crocodile Kelly bag, and 15,000 pounds in cash was stolen from her home. So at the time when she was robbed, no one was home. So again, that's another huge crime. Like 10 million pounds of jewelry is absolutely bananas. Her name was Shafira Huang. What I question is no one was home when it occurred. I don't know. I feel like if you have 10 million pounds worth of jewelry, you're going to want to have some freaking Rottweilers out in your yard, and, you know, some housekeepers that constantly watch your house, and also back to base security that constantly is also 24/7 security, or if not back to base security. So if alarm goes off, the security immediately goes to your property. But first and foremost, some Rottweilers around your property is definitely going to freaking help, or even one Rottweiler for sure. So I find that to be actually quite strange, and I think that, you know, and this is not her fault because someone has committed a criminal act, and that's absolutely awful, you know. But I also feel like a little bit more of a due diligence was required in that situation. But then again, you know, I don't know that she may have had a Rottweiler. She may have had a housekeeper all the time, but the story says that there was no one home at the time. Now, there's also been a heap of thefts also with consignment stores. There was the Ginza Xioma, which is actually also a consignment store I bought from, but their Hong Kong store was also raided and bags were stolen. There was also a robbery that actually occurred in Brisbane, where there was a heap of Hermes bags actually stolen as well from this mansion in Brisbane. And again, no one apparently was home at the time, but she did have dogs. So even like when you have dogs, it doesn't always act as a deterrent. There was also another Instagram person that unfortunately got robbed, Asian fashionista. There was also in Melbourne in Australia, 550,000 worth of luxury bags were stolen from the MER. If that's how you say it, I don't know. But I do know of this consignment store. And this is actually in Australia. Think of all the crime that's actually even occurred in the US. And you guys in the US, I have a big US audience. You probably know of all the crime that has actually increased in the US as well. See that someone was robbed in Atlanta back in late last year in November. And there was a heap of bags that were stolen. 17 bags, not even including the jewelry that they didn't mention. This is something that's been going on for a long time. I even have this article that I actually sent to my friend that I said that was so scary. And it was originally it was posted on like the buy sell trade on the Facebook groups. So there was someone that was doing a resale of a bag that was in Paris. They were reselling some bags actually, and he was robbed on the spot, but he ended up reporting it to the police and the authorities to try and get them arrested. But weeks later, he was actually found unalive in his flat in Paris. It was actually really scary. This story terrified the absolute crap out of me. Like, I don't think I would ever do a meetup for a sale of a bag. I just do not feel like it is worth it at all, that it's worth that kind of risk, unless the person that you're buying, like, you know that the person that you're selling to is like a reputable person, that you know them very well, they've got a lot of references, and you know that you're speaking to the right person, because people make fake profiles all the time. Yeah, this is not just it's not just specific to 2024 that there's been this increased crime rate. There has always been crime when it comes to luxury goods, but I think now it's just become more apparent because the crime is getting more and more regular now. And that's where I feel like the Walmart Birkin has its popularities, because people feel safer perhaps with a bag that's worth $80 that looks kind of like the real deal versus walking around with a bag that's worth a heck of a lot more. Like, people perhaps feel safer with these kind of bags. Perhaps they feel like they don't have to be so concerned about, you know, insurance on them and that sort of thing, or that they're going to be more at risk of being targeted, or even if they were targeted, they feel like they wouldn't care because they've, you know, they weren't actually worth their real value. There have been stories of even rich people that have actually been robbed and has found out when they were robbed that a lot of their collection was actually fake anyway. So perhaps that's why the Walmart WIRKIN has its popularity, is, you know, people feel that bit safer using a bag that's only worth $80 versus using a bag that's worth thousands and thousands of dollars. And that's why I feel like as well, even other brands, like more subtle brands that don't really have obvious logos, seem to be selling a bit more now. Like Loro Piana, for example, I've actually got one of their bags listed on my closet page. That has been a really popular bag. They're kind of luxury. It's like, if you know, you know. So if you know about luxury, you know that that's a, like, if you really know about luxury, you know that that's quite an expensive bag and it's very exclusive. But if you don't know, and say you're just a common thief, you would have no idea, and you probably would not target that person knowing that that bag is actually very valuable. And then you've got also those other like contemporary luxury designer brands that have been up and coming over the past, you know, 5 to 10 years. So there will be a lot of factors that have contributed towards a terrible economy right now when it comes to like retail spending and how much money people have in their pockets really for extra spending. And that is why I feel like as well the WIRKIN has gained a lot of popularity. People still want to buy like handbags, but they cannot go ahead and splurge on a Birkin. Maybe they never could, right? But it's like that kind of thing that gives them that feels that they've kind of got something close to a Birkin. And that's why, like I said, I have absolutely no issue with it. I feel like more power to you. If it makes you happy, then so what? You know, you only live once. It's not that deep. You know, I'm definitely not one of those people that feels triggered at all by this. I know it doesn't affect the value of the Hermes Birkin bag. For me, I still prefer to buy the authentic products because I am buying them for the craftsmanship, and I'm buying them for the leathers, buying them for the colors. As you've seen with those videos, none of the colors were really spot on. Walmart probably would just take this down and may not let the vendors sell again, and that's why it's sold out, and they're probably just not going to let them sell again because they would have made a lot of money on this, right? No doubt about it, they would have made a lot of money on these being sold, but they probably know that a lawsuit's incoming because the actual Birkin shape, the shape of the bag, the sangles, the handles, the proportions, all of that is actually trademarked by Hermes. In fact, close enough to the original bag. Even though the hardware quality is not the same, ignore the fact that mine's got a patch on it, right? Even though the hardware quality is not the same, there's so many other aspects that are, and even though this has grommets on it and this one doesn't, everything else in terms of proportion, handles, feet, sides of the bag, like aside from those grommets being there, the flap that goes over the front as well, like this thing, all of that is just like the original Birkin. So it's going to just be way too close that Hermes could absolutely do a lawsuit for it. This is probably done in terms of being able to get it from Walmart. I don't think it's going to happen. Now, there was another thing as well where I actually know that there will probably be a lawsuit incoming because a brand named Teddy Blake used to actually do a bag that looked like the Birkin, and I think they used to do one that used to look like the Kelly as well, and they got a lawsuit from Hermes, and they were told to stop creating those bags. So if they've done it to that other, you know, small designer, then for sure they're gonna, you know, come after Walmart if they allow those Chinese vendors to sell again. I was going to talk about, do I recommend it? Like, clearly I have no issue with it, like, because I'm even going to link down below the Amazon version of it, and I think go for it if you want to. But I feel like this answer requires a lot more kind of detail to it, but I don't want to put too much, like, I don't want to make the video too much longer. I always talk too much. But is it worth it? It's going to really depend. If you could not afford a Birkin at all, period, ever, like you just know that's definitely out of your league, even pre-loved. Because to be honest, you could get a pre-loved vintage Birkin 35 for even the retail price or less. Like you get it for less than retail. And you can actually just send it back to Hermes to go to the spa. in most situations you can. So if you feel like you couldn't even do that, and that's not even in your league to even consider doing something like that, buying a Birkin bag under the retail, maybe like about 4,000, 5,000, even 7,000 under the retail, you know, if it's really super beat up. And then if you're not prepared to send it to the spa, but you want a bag that kind of looks like the Birkin, right? Then I feel like that's where it's going to be worth it for you, okay? This Walmart Birkin or this Amazon dupe is probably going to be it for you if you couldn't get it at all. And the other thing I wanted to mention as well, there's been some comments about, is it going to be worth your money because it's going to have issues? Well, for starters, $80 for a bag, you know, maybe it'll have issues in the long run with the hardware. Maybe it'll tarnish. But I can tell you now, my Hermes bags require a lot of maintenance with their hardware, especially because I live in a humid climate. And if I look at this has never been looked after by me at all, ever. I've never looked after this bag. It is literally sat in like this kind of dust bag in my closet up high where it probably gets humid. And the hardware has no tarnish whatsoever. Is it plastic? I don't know. But I can tell you my Hermes bags have had tarnish. I have to keep them clean pretty regularly. The hardware, I have to use a cloth to consistently keep them clean because they do tend to tarnish in the humidity. Not all the hardware, it's mostly just the Birkin, Kelly, Lindy, those kind of platings. I feel because of the screws that are there that are not as great. Like the quality of the screws are just not as great as the actual plates themselves. And I feel like that's the area you tend to need to clean. But then I have a rose gold Birkin now, and that can just tarnish out of the blue, like just by existing it tarnishes because it's rose gold and the copper just comes right through with the exposure to air and dust and that kind of thing. So yeah, like when it comes to that whole discussion of like the quality, is it going to last, Hermes Birkins have their own issue, except the only difference is that if you do have extreme issues that can no longer be fixed by you, you can give it to Hermes to send to the spa, but you got to spend money on that. That costs you money, and that is actually going to cost you more money than rebuying another one of these bags. The hardware changing on Hermes bags is actually very expensive when it comes to the Birkins and the Kellys. You're looking at like hundreds of dollars, like about, I think it's around about 500 USD to actually get the hardware changed on the Birkin and Kelly bags, like the actual plates on the front. To get them changed, it actually costs like 500 USD to get all that done. So I think that's actually all of them. I hope it's not just for one piece. I think it's for all of them. So yeah, like that being said, you could buy multiples of these bags for that price. So I don't, even though it's probably not great for waste, but I just don't feel like the whole discussion on terms of like quality and longevity and how it's going to go is really all that plausible, because all luxury bags have some kind of maintenance to them and not invincible to the elements, that's for sure. They can get issue with water damage, tarnish, like I said. So yeah, they're not invincible. Just because you pay like over $10,000 for a handbag doesn't make it freaking Superman. It's just not the case. So that whole thing with quality and that, because I have seen some people discuss that being like, you know, you can't get it serviced and you could have issues. I just feel like that's kind of out the window, sort of, with my experience and what I've had to experience with handbag hardware and stuff like that. I'm not going to go ahead and get a Workin. I'm not going to go ahead and get one of these dupes. This has literally just been sitting in the closet for ages and ages since I got it in 2016, just waiting to actually give it to my daughter to use. I still don't feel like she's old enough to really use something like this. She's only 8, so I'm kind of more so waiting until she's a teenager. So for me, that would not be worth it. It's not that deep. It's not that big of a deal. I'm trying to rationalize it and explain like my recommendation, but it's really just going to be personal preference, you know? It's just up to you guys. If you want to get it, get it. If you don't, don't. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on today's video. What do you reckon about the Walmart Workin? I think it's not going to come back. I think if you're looking for these dupes now, you're going to have to buy it elsewhere. You know, like I said, those Amazon links are going to be down below for their Amazonkin? I don't know, whatever you want to call it, for their version of the Birkin. I feel like, yeah, the Walmart one's not going to come back unless they want to have the lawsuit, and it's just going to be a headache. That's probably not going to be worth it, because they would have already made a lot of money on allowing that vendor to sell them anyway. But you never know, you might be surprised, they might actually come back with it. I feel like if we're going to get into a discussion in terms of like morality, like with labor, then we're going to have to go very deep on that, and I will eventually do a video on that, because when it comes to morality and labor, the luxury brands are definitely not innocent. And there's a whole complexity when it comes to like dupes and fakes and how they're manufactured, different variables, different tiers, and who are the kind of workers that work there. So if we're going to get into the whole morality thing, that's not going to be for this video, okay? We're not going to discuss that because that deserves a whole different video in itself. So at face value, it's just going to be personal preference. Do you want to go ahead and get one of these dupe bags, or do you not? Do you hate them? Do you hope that they go away? Yeah, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. You know what? I'll also leave all my favorite pre-loved sites to shop genuine luxury as well, because you can save a heck of a lot of money by going pre-loved. I love shopping pre-loved or resale market, because if I can save on the retail price, I'm cheering. It makes the bag all the more better as well. So I'm going to leave those all linked down below underneath all those little dupe links that I'm going to put in there in the description bar as well. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully you stuck around for this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.